And after watching that one video, I basically quit cold turkey. I went to my mom cold tofu. There we go. Hearing how they treated the animals, it made my chest hurt. That's all I say. I don't think it was a logical process.
I wonder if that's really something you're doing 100% and if that's even safe.
Peace, yes. My name is Banana. I went vegan back in 2015. Originally, it's because I came upon a video called The Greatest Speech You Will Ever Hear about Gary Yourofsky, right? And when I first saw the video, I thought he was about to speak about like the government or like aliens or fluoride or conspiracy theories. But then he started to speak about the animals and how we treat them, right? And after watching that one video, like I basically quit cold turkey. I went to my mom cold tofu. There we go. I went to my mom. I was like, Mom, because I used to eat like liver raw. So I'm like, Mom, this is the last piece of meat I'm gonna eat, right? Because I told her to buy it. But after that, I just quit and never went back. And at the time, she was like, oh, like you're so young, you don't know what you're talking about. It's a phase. And 10 years later, we still here, we still vegan, you know. So it's mainly started for the animals with me, and also fruit has been more of like a focal point. But it started with the animals, of course, for like just like the animal health and like safety, but in fruit and like fruitarianism was also a focal point as well, but it started with the animals. Yeah.
Right. Cool. That's awesome, man. I actually went vegan in 2011 for the same reason, Gary Yourofsky.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's so cool. And you know Corinne Sutton?
No.
Yeah. He's down there in Florida where you're at, I think, right? You're in Florida, aren't you?
I'm going back.
No, you were in Arkansas.
Yeah, I'm in Arkansas, yeah.
But yeah, he's down in South Florida, near Miami, I think.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, he's super cool. You need to check him out.
Send me his stuff. I'll watch it. Yeah,
and I'll maybe show a little clip over this.
Oh, cool. Bet. Solid.
So why are we here, man? Where are we and why are we here?
Why are we here? So we are in Kansas, right? And we are at Serena, my friend who just helped host, who created the Thrive Alive Vegan Festival with my friend Erin Whoop Whoop as well. We're at her parents' house basically as like an after party because a lot of the volunteers came here. So her parents graciously let a lot of the volunteers stay in the space. So we just we're making like vegan food, you know, like laughing, playing music, just like having a good time and enjoying ourselves before we go our separate ways tomorrow. And also a lot of people are planning to go to the Texas Fruit Festival, you know, so that's kind of the next spot that everyone is migrating to. And I'm wanting to go. I just got to coordinate a couple things as well. But we just came from Thrive Alive Vegan Festival, the first Thrive Alive Vegan Festival, because I remember Serena, she was saying that she's been to vegan festivals, but the more that she's gone to, she's just kind of wanted to make her own spin. So she teamed up with Whoop Whoop as well, and they kind of just made their own thing, and it was beautiful. Very diverse, like a lot of different cultures, a lot of different people, a lot of different types of talks. It was really beautiful, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, one of my favorite parts was the open mic because there was so much diversity there. You know,
yeah, that was fun.
You got up and you did some improv. You had people throwing words at you. That was fun.
That was so cool.
Yeah, I got to even play a little song, and then was it Jennifer who did the comedic stuff?
Courtney.
Sorry,
Courtney.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, that was.
And then the opera.
Raina.
That made my heart melt, man.
Yeah, she's very skilled.
So much cool stuff going on.
It was amazing, definitely.
Yeah. And Mike Love, that was I was floored by that. I was just blown away how cool he was.
Yeah.
And then some of the talks, like some of the kids were just amazing. You know, they're so brilliant, aren't they? Man. So that's where we're at. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
And that's how I got to meet you. You didn't say what your title is. So what do you do?
So it's interesting. So in the vegan context, Banana, right? In the tech context, I go by Bit Buddha. So I'm on YouTube and my GitHub and my LinkedIn is Bit Buddha over there. Yeah. But I'm a cybersecurity specialist intern for this company called Relay Group Inc. We do technology consulting for government agencies like TSA, but they're doing this whole data migration thing. So I'm currently learning more about Databricks engineering to just get a better role in my company. But outside of that, Linux system administration, I feel like that's my focal point, right? Because I'm realizing the deeper I get into tech, a lot of people don't be in the terminal or the command line interface. And Linux system admins, they live there. And that's kind of where I want to live because I don't want to have to touch a mouse. I don't want to have to be in the GUI. I don't want to do none of that, right? So I'm used to Linux. So Linux is my thing in terms of tech. So that's where I'm going. I'm just getting in the cyber industry and I'm getting into data engineering now, but Linux system admin stuff is my focal point in terms of career and business for now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, did you get to meet or check out any Dr. Celeste Raoult's talks?
Yeah. He was speaking about the Planet B and like all of that stuff. Yeah. Those talks are really cool.
Yeah. So he mentioned Ahimsa coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think it's interesting because a lot of people, in the past I was studying Solidity for the Ethereum blockchain. Is similar to JavaScript, and JavaScript is like a language that was built for the web. So basically, if you're on the internet in modern day, if you see any like animation or pop-up, is using JavaScript. And Solidity is a programming language that's similar to JavaScript, and Ethereum is a blockchain that helps people make like smart contracts, right? Outside of like everything being like a government, you just kind of have your own contracts that you code up. Anyway, I was studying that stuff. So when people speak about the coins, it's very fascinating to me because we know like Bitcoin dropped around like 2008 around the financial crisis. And since then, there have been a lot of other coins. I always ask people why.
Yeah.
Because people speak about making coins, but like, why do you need a coin? And I feel like it just sounds fancy. Like I've had several people come to me like, hey, we need a coin for these type of people. We need a coin for this type of thing. We need a coin for this type of thing. And it sounds good, but like, is it necessary? And this is the thing I feel like a lot of crypto people, they kind of got tired of, because now it's like AI, right? Everyone is on AI, right? And a couple years ago, everyone was on crypto, right? But it's like, why? Right? If you don't need it, it's not, it sounds good, but just because something is good, it doesn't mean it fits your purpose nor your business goal, right? But it sounds good. I should have had a talk with him like, why?
Yeah.
Right?
So did you see both of his talks?
Yeah, I was there for both. I was there
Okay.
for both.
So I think, I don't know if I asked, but I think he mentioned it, the Ahimsa coin. He talked a little bit about it. So basically there wouldn't be, so every day you would get like everybody has a right to live, right? And
Right.
everybody has a right to eat and basic life needs. And so the Ahimsa coin is like this non-violent alternative to the Planet A, where everybody gets this allocated amount of spending for their basic needs or whatever. And that's just kind of like a very layman's interpretation of what I heard him kind of say.
Yeah, because he had like different calculations on how we would calculate which person gets which thing per like week or per day. And it sounds good, but like why? The why is beautiful, right? Also, but how? The financial system is very vast and it's very corrupt, right? So to get the entire planet on it, it's going to be a task.
Yeah, so
gonna be a task, is what I'm
people
saying.
who eat vegan,
Right.
who are vegan, or at least eat vegan, I should say, could use this, and it would just be their basic and right to have like their basic inheritance or something.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know that. I'm sure it would be a fascinating thing for you to delve in with him.
No, definitely no. It's very, it reminds me of Jeff like Bezos in like a weird sense. I know that that's not a name that a lot of people would like to hear about. I feel like we should study these people. He was saying when he was making Amazon, the roads were like already paved. Trucks were already made, right? Electricity was already made, right? So he was kind of like building on top of things that were already made, right? And a lot of ideas, they literally take people sacrificing their entire lives for the next person could like take the torch and move on, right? It takes a lot of energy to giving get these things started up. So I think it's in the right direction. It is going to take tremendous amounts of work, right? But I think he's definitely in the right direction. So he's setting like a seed that people could like water and like live in the reality in the future. Because there's a lot of people who had great ideas, but it just never came to fruition. Because at the time, it's like no one would understand. But then it took like 50 years or 100 years for people to take on. So I think he has a beautiful idea. It's an amazing idea. I just want to see like the how and the, like how to actually integrate it.
Well, he's having a convergence. Maybe we can go to that.
He was talking about that. And he was also speaking about Sadhana Forest, which is in India and in Haiti as well, where they kind of like, it's like...
They already got it going on.
Yeah, and I feel like the fact that he's seen that's probably why the Ahimsa coin is more of a reality for him. Because what he was saying from Sadhana Forest is like, it's no money. Everybody is bartering. Everything is like free exchange. They feed people. It's like a different reality from like the reality where you just pay and swiping, right? It's a whole totally different reality. So I feel like that's why he's able to be more confident with it, because he's seen that, right? In modern US, even in Ecuador, I was in Ecuador as well. I didn't see that yet, but hearing about stuff like that, I'm hearing that possibility is becoming more of a thing now, which is beautiful.
Yeah, so you've sunk your teeth into some of these different like eco villages, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
You know? That's so cool. Like you mentioned Fruit Haven maybe and stuff like that.
Yeah, so in Ecuador, for all like people, but specifically like vegans and fruit-based people as well, go to Ecuador. Like to this, like generally, like go visit. So there's Fruit Haven, there's Terra Frutis, and Evolution Eco Village, right?
Yeah.
So I spent time mainly in Evolution, but I have visited the other ones as well. And like it's amazing stuff that they're doing over there. Like shout out to Jade and like Nico, like my friends over there. They have like land and like they're just growing stuff, and they're on the same property. And it's like amazing see people do what a lot of people speak about, right? Like me and my friends, we all always speak about land. Of course, I'm getting closer to it as well. But seeing my friends who already have the land, already planting the trees, already like composting, already like already doing all of that is really inspiring. So definitely visit Ecuador if you want to just see like a permaculture, or you want to see people living in intentional communities,
yeah.
or if you want to see people like eating fruitarian, vegan, right? You gotta visit Ecuador. Like so in Ecuador, Gualaquiza. So I was in Gualaquiza, and the fruit eco villages are basically like 45 minutes away from Gualaquiza, and they're basically all like kind of next to each other. Like Evolution and Terra Frutis are really like neighbors. Their Fruit Haven is on like the other part a bit, but they're all near like Gualaquiza. So I definitely recommend if you're on a vegan journey, permaculture journey, farming journey, fruit journey, go to Ecuador and like check those places out. It's like literally was like my dream for years, and like I experienced it. It was amazing. Yeah.
That's so cool that you've actually been there, because
Yeah.
I've been vegan since 2011, and
Yeah.
I haven't been any of those places yet, Costa Rica or nothing, and
Right.
and I got a
You gotta
friend in
go, bro.
Colombia and all
You
that.
gotta go.
South
Yeah.
America and all, and it's like, and I've talked to people down there, like several different people over the years, just randomly, just over the phone though, but, and so yeah, it's like and I've been saving for that dream, but I almost feel like to change the world, we may have to change, like, and I don't know, I'm just kind of speaking, I haven't really thought about this too much to say it confidently, but I do think about it a lot, like how invaluable it would be to change the communities we already live in.
True.
You know, instead of trying to go somewhere more majestic and blah blah blah.
True.
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 You know, because like you're leaving your family, your friends, you know, but work needs to be done here. Maybe, I don't know.
No, true. There's a lot of people who have that philosophy of like, oh, like you were born here, your rights are on this land, you should change it there. And I feel like we could have a huge impact. Well, the thing is, we could have a huge impact everywhere, right? Yeah. But to me, it's like this system. I'm here, right? Well, I wasn't really planning on coming back, right? But as I'm here now, I'm gonna get all of the certification, because the USA is a corporation as well. It's not even like they say it's a country, but it's actually just a corporation. Like legally, it's just like an actual corporation, right? So we should use it for what it was designed for, right? It was designed for like, what do you call it? Like a pursuit of, I don't know. Yeah, but I'm not so deep in history. Anyway, I know it's like mainly for finances, money, business, career. If you want that, the USA is a spot to be. So while I'm here, I'm maximizing all of that, but I don't want to raise my children here necessarily, right? It's a great, like I like honestly being in Ecuador made me respect the US more, because the things that you can find in Ecuador that you can't find here, and the things that you can find here that you can't find in Ecuador, right? Yeah. So it made me respect the US a lot more for what it does have. So I'm making sure even here, I wouldn't be here if I wasn't in the US, for example, right? So there's beautiful things here, of course, like we're here now, but firstly, I need a more tropical environment, and I would like an environment that's a bit more like family-oriented, slow pace, tropical nature, and you can find that in the States. So I was in Florida as well. I worked on farms in Florida, so I've seen a bit of this. I feel like there's so much things that come just being here. There's so much weight that comes with it as well. It's like, it's a privilege, right? But there's also a lot of other covert psychological, historical things that I don't necessarily want me and my children to always have to be like a part of, right? So I'd rather just build somewhere other, but even
like you can start fresh and
but
not
also
have all that other stuff.
True. But also going somewhere else doesn't necessarily solve the problem. It changes the problem. Because in Ecuador, they have their own problems. The reason I came back is because they were having blackouts every day. And me getting into tech, in the States, I never had blackouts every day. But if you're having blackouts every day, it's like you basically got to choose your heaven and hell. Like you got to constantly choose, oh, this place has this, doesn't have this, but it's worth it, right? And I'm using the US for what it's worth, and I'm gonna go to other spot and like build what it's worth there. But
back to Gary Yourofsky.
Yeah.
So you just kind of stumbled on this. You just thought, what is this about? It sounds like you had no idea, nothing other than the title, I guess, to read it.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Did you have any seeds before that might have helped get you momentum in this direction?
Seeds? Consciously, no.
So
right?
it was entirely that video.
Yes, because I always say this. I was the first vegan I ever met in my life.
Wow.
I never met any other vegan before me. But I will give a shout out to my grandma and my grandpa because we were raised Seventh-day Adventists. But it was only my grandma and grandpa. They were really strict about it. So we would go to churches. So basically from Friday night to Saturday night, there's no TV, no music, no movies, no video games because it's a Sabbath time. They say it's like the Lord's Day, right? Yeah. And I think it's Ellen White, the lady who like created the Seventh-day Adventist thing. She was a big proponent of vegetarianism. I even think there's I think it's in California if I'm not mistaken. There's the Blue Zone Centurions and they're like Seventh-day Adventists, right? Yeah. So my my grandma and grandpa they like didn't eat like just like normal meat, but they ate like fish, right? And then my mom would say that before my grandpa passed, like he would always beg her to like just stop eating the meat, right? Just like stop eating the meat. And then I think a year or so after I became shout out to my mother. Like my mother is like the main thing that made it 1,000 times easier for me because I'm Haitian, right? So basically when I said I was gonna stop eating meat, she would basically make the same exact dish, she just wouldn't put meat. Mm-hmm. So basically my like transition was like nothing. It was like okay, I'm still eating the same food that just doesn't have meat now, but there's mothers who wouldn't do that. They were like, what do you mean? You're in my house, you're gonna eat what I give you. But she gave me the grace. She's like, okay, if he doesn't want to eat this, I'm not gonna put it in his food. So I always got to give credit to my mom because and it's only years later I realized how easy it was. Because my other friends, it was a really hard transition. Like, oh my God, I gotta make everything on my own. I gotta do everything on my own. But mom, she like still like fed me stuff and just like wouldn't put the meat in it, and that made it 1,000 times easier. So like definitely, thanks to my mom, definitely. Nice. Yeah, 100%.
And you did a good job finding like-minded people too.
For veganism at a start?
I mean, maybe not right away, but eventually.
Down the years, yeah. But initially, no, because my girl ate meat, my friends ate meat, doctor ate meat, teachers ate meat, whole family ate meat. They was like, "What are you doing?" Right?
And so, would you say that was like probably the biggest challenge?
Maybe. To me, not at first. I don't really feel like it was a challenge. It was just like a hurdle, right? Yeah. You know, when like people on the track, they like sometimes have these things they got to jump over. It was like that to me, right? I was like, oh, whatever. You don't
be because you had this ethical obligation.
Yeah, and the ethical obligation is like trying to make people understand, right? Because the thing is, if people aren't educated and we're educated on certain things, we just got to share the knowledge. So I remember back then I would study a lot of the science, like the Dr. Michael Greger stuff, like a lot of that stuff. I'll just like watch all these videos on it and documentaries on it, so I could just know my facts. So when anybody asks me, oh, where do you get your protein? I'm like, well, actually, nitrogen is converted in the atmosphere, and then the plants turn it into amino acids, and amino acids are the building blocks for protein. So like I had that stuff like memorized, right? Recently, I haven't really studied any of that stuff because I've just been on this journey for so long that I've like, all of my friends are vegan now. Like all of my friends are raw vegan and fruit now.
You're making me think of like when I was in Sacramento doing some interviews taking a lift, and I was telling the guy, we were just kind of chatting it up, and he was asking me why I was there and this and the other, and I was like, well, I'm here to video some stuff, and he was like, oh, what for? And next thing you know, he hears I'm vegan, and he was like, oh, so we should debate. And I was like, well, all right. I was like, all right, but I've already won. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, I'm vegan and I'm alive.
Right. It's just like peace of mind is always the ultimate thing. But I do remember one story about I always remember this one story. I remember there's this movie called Hidden Colors, right? And it's like a documentary that goes like through like African history and like the stuff that we were like lied about and like all of that stuff, right? And I was at an event in Philadelphia with Soraya Nicole and Ethan Black. They're like these artist friends I had in Philly, when I was in Philadelphia because I was born and raised in Philly. And then I had the Hidden Color stuff, and then my friend, she was having like a sleepover like party type movie night, right? And then she invited me. She's like, oh, if you have the Hidden Colors movies, you could come and then we could all watch it. Like I just like to gain more awareness. So then when I went, it was my first time being around like vegan, black, like conscious women, and I felt like I made it. I was like, oh my God, yo, they have afros, they're natural, they're vegan, they got shea butter. I'm like, oh, we have made it. And I remember that was like the initial thing, because at the time, a lot, like all of my friends pretty much ate meat and smoked and drunk, and I did have a time where I was deep into that, to that stuff as well. So like, I was vegan, but there was other things that weren't as healthy, like the smoking and like the drinking and like all of the psychedelics and all that. Well, some of them, right? But so but then I've been sober for the past few years, so like that's all clear now. But it's been like a gradual. The things at 15 on me that amaze me now is just like the basis. It's like all of my friends are vegan. Well, let me not say that. Like half my friends are vegan, but a lot of my other friends aren't vegan, because especially in the tech space, it's like a different. It's varied, right? It's not health. We're there for like coding stuff, right? So like that's not the focal point. But either way, I still try to like carry like the health consciousness regardless of like where I go. Definitely.
This is going to be a weird part of the interview. How long you been doing the fruitarian stuff?
Fruitarian, so I first heard about it, I'll probably say 2019. The first video I saw was by Sweet Natural Living. He was like, a day in the life as a fruitarian. And I was like, what the heck are you talking about? Because to me, you gotta understand, I thought veganism was the top.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I've made it. I'm the healthiest person I could ever be. We're good, right? But then when I saw that video, he literally was just eating mangoes. And I was like, is that easy? And I like always love fruit. I remember you speaking about the seeds in high school. When I first went vegan at lunch, right? We would, you know how they give the milk like cartons and then they give like the fruit, right? I would literally like exchange the milk cartons for the fruit. So say if I had milk, right? And then my friends had like the fruit cups, right? So I would exchange the milk for the fruit. And I had no idea of like fruitarianism. I'm like, oh, well, fruit is healthy. It's a fruit cup. It's better than milk and like meat, right? So that was like back in high school, but I didn't understand that people lived like that. It's in 2019 when I found Sweet Natural Living. He was like living like that. And also Ted Carr, the fruitarian, he like really inspired me a lot on the start of my journey as well. So those are the first two people. Also, I got to give a shout out to my friends Jeremy and Kim. They're in Georgia now, but when I met them, they were in Philadelphia. They were my first fruit friends, pretty much. And like, they're partially how I could even be here now. If we were to look at say my life is like my fruit journey is like a tree, right? Jeremy and Kim are like the seed. I always say like, Jeremy, you know how with Jesus they say like BC and like AD? It's like before Jeremy and Kim and after Jeremy and Kim for like me, right? Like honestly, because after them, I met them, my first fruit friends, right? And seeing how they did it as a family, they had like the juicer and the hydrator and the blender, and we would go to the wholesale to get I have like pictures on my Instagram. I have boxes of mangoes, boxes of honeydew, boxes of this. It was amazing. And then they told me about the Woodstock Fruit Fest. Then I went to the Woodstock Fruit Fest in 2021, and that's where I met Serena and Whoop Whoop, and that's how I'm here now, in a sense. So, but yeah. But yeah, the fruit stuff was from Sweet and Natural Living and Ted Carr, pretty much, in 2019. Yeah.
I say it could get like interesting, the conversation, because it's like, I hope you don't mind me questioning all this. I wonder like if that's really something you're doing 100%, and if that's even safe if you're doing that and those kind of things, because there's not a lot of science. Like you said, you follow Gregor, or used to anyways. He actually recently put a video out explaining how.
What
was that?
Not
that. Not about the neurotoxins in pawpaw, but no, more about just fruitarian or raw, maybe more raw vegan.
Right.
How there's not really science that's supporting it. It could just be there's just not a lot of science on it. I don't know, but it seems like legumes, grains. Are you getting those things? Are you sprouting those? Are you doing any of that, or is it just all fruit? Like, what are you doing?
First, let me preface this. So, aspiring fruitarian. I'm not where I used to be. I had like months and weeks to like solo fruit, like me and my like girl as well. I had months on it, right? But I'm not 100% where I would want to be. Right? I have friends who like are there. I have friends who like literally for years they haven't touched a vegetable or a grain in years, right? And they're like thriving, right? So I know it's possible because I've seen and I've lived around these people. But so I'm not 100% there. I'm like working back towards it because it's annoying, but it's a conscious neglect, if that's a word. Like when I came back to the States. Because I was in Ecuador was like really easy. In Ecuador, me and my girls went months on fruit, easy. We had like whole platters, whole like tables full of fruit. It was mad easy, right? But being back in the States, especially the US is a very monetary, like business, career oriented place. And I realized there's a price difference of produce here, right? So that's a lot of my energy has more so been going towards like certifications, cybersecurity, cohort trainings, planning to go back to college as well. So I'm really more focused on all of the monetary, financial, corporate, all of that. I'm like maxing out that stuff. But at the same time, I've been neglecting the whole fruit side, right? Which has been annoying. But I am getting back to it because it's like being in heaven. I remember how to get back to heaven. Even if I'm down in this like mundane physical like realm, I remember the route to get back there. So I'm not like I just had what did I just had? I just had the potato stuff that they were making.
Okay,
you just saw me. Like I just had that stuff.
I wasn't watching you. I wasn't spying.
But so I'm not like 100% there, right? Especially being like it is like a normal vegan event. I'm not 100% there, but I guarantee you I'm going to be back because as soon as I get all my money set up, we planning to get like land as soon as I can. I'm never looking back, honestly. Once you have like a juicers as well, I'm never looking back, and I'm probably not going to touch cook stuff for the rest of my life after that. I just have to make sure that the environment I am. The sprouts are cool. Like sprouts are cool. Like I remember, I forgot his name. But this brother at the Thrive Live, he had a whole talk about sprouts. So in terms of sovereignty, I feel like if you don't have land, sprouts and microgreens are a perfect place to start. So that's cool, but to just grow, right? But also, I'll say I've been around more pregnant like women now and pregnant women, and they kind of, because a lot of my friends, they have like children now, and I have to say like, so ideally, I think there might have been a couple of fruitarian mothers, but I don't know much of that. I know about raw, like vegan mothers, right? And so I feel like it's worthwhile to at least know about raw stuff. Even me, as like a man, I feel like fruit is just like very simple. And like, you were speaking about the science stuff earlier. The science is important, but I know it's gonna sound brash. I don't care. I care about how I feel, right? Because like when I meditate, that's how I judge how food affects me. When I sleep, that's how I affect how food does me. When I'm like going throughout my day, my energy levels, that's how I judge food. I don't judge food based upon a book anymore. I just food based upon how it feels in my mind, body, and soul in the moment and 24 hours later as well. So I know for a fact if I eat a box of mangoes versus a box of pasta, the mangoes are gonna make me feel better 10 times out of 10, right? But I don't have no science to back you. But I could say I've been thriving, right? I've had weeks on fruit and everyone around me could see like I'm in bliss, right?
Yeah.
But
well, just I guess just for the record, it's like when you say like, people who've been doing it for years and they're doing great.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm not aware of anybody who's done it like their whole life very long.
Your whole life?
Or and lived long. Like people, I just haven't seen it. I've looked. Now I've interviewed a lot of people. I have the longest person I've ever seen, Karen Calabrese. She's been raw 50 years.
You gotta send me that like video,
And then Mark Huberman, he's been vegan from birth, 75 years old, at least 75, I think. He was raw for the first 32 years, but once he got a potato, it was done. He couldn't feel satiated anymore without something cooked. But now, as far as like the science. I mean, so I was trying to rack my head like around like, can it be like, are these people missing major categories? Because there's so much science to support the legumes and the grains, like they're so health promoting. There's like a staple in the longest living people, even like sweet potatoes in Japan, like it's like huge.
The blue zone.
Yeah. So like, why not do that? Or carrots being cooked in tomatoes and like they actually increase the nutritional value a little bit and makes the, if you're not eating vegetables, it probably doesn't matter, but it makes things a little more easily digestible and absorbable and things like that, and removes oxalates and things like phytates and this, that, and the other. So it's like, but if you're just mono-milling like Steve Jobs, like that, he didn't live long, but it could have been something else. Like these are just anecdotes. And there have been fruit, like raw, at least people who have died young, recently even. I don't know their names, I just hear about it. Or even Dr. Baxter Montgomery was raw. So he died in his early 60s. But it could have been just because he had maybe multiple myeloma, which maybe had nothing to do with it. I'm just worried like somebody might not feel inflammation or feel heart disease until it's too late. Like a lot of fructose can be synthesized into triglycerides, or maybe there's just a lack of protein or whatever. So those are just things I wonder about. But I hear what you're saying, like being in Ecuador where that stuff's just right there, and I bet it did feel great. I bet I probably would feel better than I do right now. So it's very attractive. And Mark, there's a guy, I don't remember his, Mark and his wife, they're beautiful and they're all raw, and they've been doing it a long time. So anyway, I'll have to send you that too. And I'll show it on the video. Mark is killing it. So after this interview, I'm going to look into it some more.
Definitely like look into more and send me the videos you already have. And I do want to preface this. I come from a family and a generation, probably of people who have high rates of hypertension, high rates of cancer, high rates of diabetes, right? And we know for a fact, well, at least I only know in my family tree what they were eating, right? Just like normal meat, dairy, cheese, eggs, right? So I think about me, but I always use this as an analogy. If I eat 10 mangoes, that's cool, right? If my family eats one, that's amazing. If I meditate for like an hour, that's cute. But if my family meditates or like my loved ones meditate for like 10 minutes, that's wonderful. So I always try to be ahead and above. And I feel like at leaders in like general, whether it's like health or finances, it's always good to be kind of see to the future and kind of be above or ahead, not above, but further down the path than what you expect people to do. Like if you tell people to do stuff and you're not doing it, you're a hypocrite, right? Yeah. So I feel like it's better to go above and beyond, and then the people around you will pick up on that. So I feel like, I don't have children yet, but I think about this stuff often. Children will probably pick up 50% of what you are, right? So if I'm 100% fruit, at least I can know my son will be like vegan, at least or raw or close to it, right?
So you're trying to make your life shoot for the moon.
Pretty much, right? I'm trying to make it to the highest vibration possible. So even if my family falls short, they're still good, right? Because they're like, oh, Dad, he used to eat mangoes every single day. He used to get boxes of mangoes. He used to get trucks of like watermelon. We used to have chira, moyo on the tree falling every day, right? So if we're in that type of reality, right? Where you're on such a high vibration, you're eating fruit, you're planting fruit trees, you're doing permaculture, you're farming, right? Even if you slip up, the worst you would do is have like a seitan vegan burger, right? That's the worst you could do. No, even you'll probably just eat a salad, but oh damn. Like, I can realize you probably eat it like a heavy salad. Oh man, I'm slipping up. I got to get back to the fruit, right? So I'm not only doing this for me. I'm just trying to make it so everyone around me is the healthiest they can be. Because I'm trying to end this generational hurt, trauma, and pain through diet that comes, right? And also at the Thrive Alive Festival, Married to Health. They were speaking about transgenerational gut biome, right? So everything I'm eating right now is going to affect my kids and my kids' kids, right? So I'd rather put them in reality where they get in like fruit that I know that's going to like hydrate them, uplift them, rather than just have pasta every single day or like a cheesesteak every single day that I know that's not going to serve them at all.
Yeah,
so that's
how
I'm
also say a lot of diversity, you know, like between legumes, greens, grains, fruits, veggies, mushrooms, nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices. You know? It's a lot of diversity in all of those categories.
No, true.
Yeah. Because they said like every week, 30 different things. You know, some people probably get that in a day.
Right.
But if you're just eating mangoes, it's like, you know. Like,
no, it's lit. I went 11 days on mangoes before, and it was like the most peaceful time of my like life. Jillian. Actually, no, shout out. You know who I want to give a shout out to? Shout out to Alice. My friend Jeremy and Kim, their daughter was 8 years old. She went 10 days on mangoes out of nowhere. No one told her to do it. No one asked her to do it, but she was she saw her parents do such health conscious stuff. For her, it's normal.
It's a transient thing, though. It's not like a long time thing.
10 days is like a good chunk, though.
Yeah, that is long.
10 days for an 8-year-old girl.
Like, oh, I'm gonna do this forever, kind of thing.
Well, she eats a lot of fruit. Yeah. She eats a lot, and if an 8-year-old girl could do it, and I went 11 days, and this was a couple years ago, so I was like 24. If an 8-year-old child could go 11 days of mangoes, me as a grown man, what is my excuse?
Yeah, but at the same time,
I mean,
kids, I used to eat like white bread with syrup. That was my staple when I was a kid growing up.
No, shout out to Alice, because she definitely inspired me. Because if a child could do it, and I always use mothers as a reference point, because if mothers could do it and a child could do it, no one else has excuse. Because you know when people take like different foods and medications, like, oh, not around babies and not around pregnant women. If a pregnant woman could do it and a child could do it, I feel like that's a good sign. Probably everyone could like do it most times, right?
It's funny you should bring that up, because I'm doing a year-long weekly series on the topic of raising children vegan.
Oh,
and so I've been every week I release a video on that topic, and so, you know, that's why a big piece of reason why I'm here, because Serena's a lifelong vegan, her mom. Yeah, they were great interviews.
Perfect examples.
Yeah. Recently, the carnivore movement has. I think they've been watching my stuff. Because now they're trying to say, oh, well, you could raise children carnivore, you know, and it's like, okay, well, I've got a year-long weekly series of people raising their kids vegan, and they're even multi-generational, you know, it's like.
But that's so funny to me, because we know people could be raised carnivore, and we see the results of that. We see the hypertension, we see the cancer, we see the blood pressure, we see the stress, we see the pimples, we see all of that, right? We see the insomnia. We see all that. Like we come from meat eat. Like, it's so funny to me with this stuff, because people act like I didn't eat meat for 15 years of my life. They act like we forgot that. We come from that. We know what that leads to. That's why people trying to be healthier and better. I'm like, we have to congratulate and celebrate it, because we know how the density looks. We know how death feels. We know how it tastes on our tongues, right? We've done that, right? So why not try something different? If we know our auntie, uncle, grandma, grandpa died from hypertension, high blood pressure, stress, depression, diabetes. Like if we notice, why, you know, they say the definitions of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again, expecting like a different result. We're insane. We live in a society where we're literally eating processed dead flesh all the time, and we expect to just be happy.
Well, a lot of what people do is the same thing they did yesterday. You know?
Yeah, truly.
So it's hard to get out
It's
of that.
very like conscious, like majority of the stuff we do. It's just like on like a loop. That's why it's important to create like habits. It's important to create habits. Like the Power of Habit book, they speak about that. But it's creating like habits that can kind of help you every single day is very, very important.
An ideal day of eating, though, I'm just to finish on food. What does an ideal day of eating look like?
Ideal?
In respect to like getting the diversity that you think would be ideal. Yeah.
Ideal? Melons in the morning and around noon, and mangoes in the afternoon, and chirimoya. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's actually my ideal because I had that in Ecuador, and it makes me feel so not ashamed, but I was doing so much better in Ecuador. So much better. It was so like literally I've had days like that. We've had weeks like me and my girl. I think it was last year we did raw juicy and fabulous fruits the entire month, and we did videos and pictures of it every single day. There's fruits every single day. So I've done it before, right?
Do you get your blood work done ever?
I haven't been to the hospital in like 10 years, brother. You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah, no,
I don't even know what is my blood. Genuinely, I do not know.
Yeah.
I do not know.
What was the most impactful thing about Gary Yourofsky's speech to you? I mean, what was it really that you think you could attribute it to?
You know, that's a very good question because I literally haven't seen that video in like probably 10 years. You know what would be cool? On my vegan anniversary, the 10 year, I should like watch that video like and do a video or reaction actually. That'd be a really cool video to make. But I'm not really sure. I give just like the animals part because the thing is, you know how on the milk carton they have the cow in the field and the farmer is just like milking them. I really thought that's how we're milking cows in 2015, right? It's only like later I realized, oh, slaughterhouses exist, right? And it's like I just didn't know, right? And I felt so bad because like no one told me. My parents didn't tell me, my teachers didn't tell me. And like people who evolve in awareness, they will have these phases where like they're really mad at first. I was so frustrated, but I feel like being mad is important. You need to be mad to. Usually people have to get to a point of like a lot of emotional pain to make big shifts in their lives, right? But I don't know any specific thing, but just like hearing how they treated the animals, it made my chest hurt. That's all I say. I don't think it was a logical process, honestly. I feel like logic is important, right? A lot of things I feel like logic is something you should always have, but some things come from the soul, right? Some things come from the heart, and those are things like it's really beyond words, right? It's like when it makes your chest hurt, like it felt like I had like a weight on my chest. I'm like I felt bad. I feel like damn, like I'm contributing to like beings dying from what I'm eating. Like I don't even hurt flies or like if a fly is around me, I just like let it do its thing. I don't even hurt insects. I'm so serious because like. The karmic, it would just make me feel like bad. It is like because you know in the Bible they have like the 10 commandments. They say thou shalt not kill. But if everyone is eating meat, like that, everyone is long gone from that because we've been killing them for like a while. But yeah, and I think a lot of those things are energetic too because the Bible just kind of explains in a very like basic level for people. But it's energetically when you do certain actions, the vibrational feedback you get from it. Even if you don't feel it, that scares me because you're probably on a very dense state if you don't feel any kind of sense or morals, right? Yeah. But if you do feel it, it's a sign that you have a conscience, you have like a spirit and a soul that's guiding you, right? So a lot of things I feel like we're just guided to. Even the video was just like a spark, and I would say it's an accident, right? Because it was just on the YouTube algorithm like randomly, right? So probably if I never saw the video, I probably would never been vegan, but. I think it was a beautiful, even if it was an accident or if it was a divine intervention, either way, it was a beautiful thing that I took the action afterwards. That was a beautiful part. Because there's some people who probably watched it that didn't even go vegan after that. But I don't know any specifics. It's like, it just made my heart hurt. And I just didn't want to contribute to like suffering unnecessarily. Yeah.
You know, I have to ask myself that too. Like, I'm kind of curious, like, what made it click for me too? Like, when I watched that, I've thought about it a few times, like, why? Because I've been, it's been 15 years, almost 15 years, I'm almost there. So it's like, And sometimes it pops up like, what was it about that video? And I get, really, I think it's I didn't realize what I was doing was so horrific.
Right.
It's weird, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, he brought it to life, what really is going on. Like, I was just oblivious before that.
Yeah, and shout out to him because I heard that he just got out of retirement. Like Shannon, our friend here, Shannon, she's a vegan activist. She was telling me she actually, when she found out, like I like Gary Yourofsky started me on the journey. Like I sent him a video, and she recorded the video and sent it to him, and he was like, "Oh, that's great. I'm so happy about that." And he just got out of retirement, so I definitely got to check his most recent video and the stuff that he's up to now. But yeah, it's It's fascinating how a candle could light another candle, right? And once you're lit, you could light anyone you want, Once you have that spark, you could like light anyone you know. So I definitely am grateful because he inspired me, and there was other people on my journey as well. Shout out to Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart. This guy on YouTube, he has does more stuff about holistic stuff, how to open your third eye or cleanse your chakras and stuff like that. He's watched him years ago. This other guy, his old name was Koi Fresco. His new name is Vasudha Das. He inspired me. So it was a couple people online mainly. My friend Savita in middle school, she was vegetarian. I did have a vegetarian friend. My other friend Blue, she was vegetarian in high school as well. But yeah, I was definitely the first vegan I met. I remember that vividly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of activism do you do?
I don't. Sadly. Because you know what's sad is only now.
You don't have a vegan presence online or something?
I have a fruit presence online. A lot of my friends know me for fruit and farming because that's mainly what I've done. Been on farms, have been showing off the different fruit there. That's mainly what I share online. But it's big gratitude to Rena and Whoop for bringing more so the activism part of veganism here. Because to me I remember my friends in high school saying I'm the nicest vegan they ever met. And I was like, what you mean? They was like, well, you never speak about it. I'm like, well, yeah, it's something I do. I'm not going to impose it on you. You do of course, if you come to me, I'm going to recommend you do this, right? And I'm going to always stay stern on my morals, right? But I'm not going to talk down on you because at the end of the day, we breathe the same air, right? Whether you eat meat, dairy, black, white, yellow, green, right? We breathe the same air, right? We have the same spiritual core and essence and creative spark and God consciousness in all of us. I don't care if you're a roach, if you're a king or a queen, right? We all have the same exact spiritual essence in us. And I feel vegans understand this, but sometimes I feel it's almost they treat animals good, but then they start treating humans bad. But I feel shout out to Jamie, remember her last name?
Logan.
Jamie Logan. She did a beautiful talk about the connection between
Ahimsa,
veganism and yoga. And I point over here and they have the Bhagavad Gita. Years ago, I used to go to the Hare Krishna temples, and they have the aspect of the whole vegetarianism. I'm not as deep into the Hare Krishna stuff as I used to be, but they influenced me a lot. A lot of those yogic, Hindi, Buddhist, Jain philosophies, it's kind of blended into my daily life. Even though I don't have my bala meats now, even though I don't have all my tosi stuff now, right? Yeah. They did influence me a good chunk. So a lot of the principles I just carry with me every day, but because it's probably in the they have the soft cover, so I'm not could I check this real quick? But in the Bhagavad Gita, they say that karmically, plate 6, animal killers do not know that in the future the animal will have a body suitable to kill them. That is the law of nature. And then they have this image of a man with the face of a cow.
All right, hold it there. Yeah.
And a cow with the face of the man, saying that whatever we consume or kill in this life, if you believe in reincarnation, you have the potential to become that same entity in the next life, right? So, and this is the other thing with the fruitarianism stuff, that I feel fruit is the only karmaless thing, one of the only karmaless things that we can eat on the planet. Because even with vegetables, not all of them, but majority of them, you have to kind of dig it out and replant it and cut it. You basically have to do more. But with a fruit tree, once you plant it, it literally will just drop buckets of oranges or mangoes for years, right? And it's it's more sustainable long term. You get more out of it long term, and it's more hydrating, and it's not as much karmic debt that comes with it. Plus, we know that we're pretty say it's 60 to 80% water, and fruits is majority water as well, right? So a lot of my fruit friends as well, they stop drinking water after a certain point, because once you're hydrated from the fruit, you don't really need to seek normal water anymore. So there's a lot of factors to it, but the resource and the ecological footprint that eating a box of mangoes versus a box of potatoes is different, right? They're both healthy, right? If you eat both, they're both healthy, right? But fruit is just like it has a like a, can I say celestial? It has like a very celestial, like etheric, like just beautiful aspect to it, right? Even in the Garden of Eden, right? If you're Christian, they always speak about like the forbidden apple or the tree of knowledge and all that, right? So in all these old faiths, they have like symbolism that correlates to fruit. Even in the Hare Krishnas, they have this thing called Akadashi. It's like a fast where they only eat fruit. Well, they only eat raw, no salt, right? And even in the Christian stuff, they have the Daniel fast, right? Where they don't eat salt or like sugar, I think, right? So in all these faiths, they have principles that are guiding towards a more raw, natural. Of course, the Seventh-day Adventists, they have a more raw, natural route, right? But I feel like a lot of people either they don't listen or they're just so programmed towards other stuff. But there's like the fruit stuff, it's so many different aspects. I just feel like it's a lot more. It's definitely what I feel like I will get the biggest bang. Well, not even the biggest bang for, like the biggest bang for my energy, right? Because if I invest a lot into it, what I'll get back from it is exponentially, like it's an exponential curve. And I could do the same with veggies, but it would. I want to grow veggies as well, probably, right? But fruit is always gonna be like my. Fruit is like the closest thing to my life purpose and passion. If I had one fruit, like if I had one word to describe my life purpose and passion, is fruit. Like that's like the single word I would use, right?
Okay. So like buckwheat is kind of a fruit.
Isn't that like a wheat?
It's not a grain, no.
How does it look?
What about like even like it resembles a grain. I use it as a porridge.
How does it grow?
I mean, it's not a grain. I just started eating it. I don't know enough about it to talk about it further. But what I want to get at is, couldn't you say like a nut or a seed or as well kind of has the same characteristics of a lot of what you're saying, but it also has like fatty acids and minerals that you might not be able to get, whatever from the fruit. So it might be, couldn't you add those two to the fruit? Would they fall in the same category?
So I'm gonna use rest in peace to Mango Wajak. I'm gonna use his definition because I remember the first time going to Woodstock, what I thought fruitarianism was and what people are calling fruitarianism are like not the same thing, right? So I thought fruitarianism was you only eat fruit, right? So it is the fruit-bearing flesh part of trees and shrubs. The fruit-bearing flesh part of trees and shrubs, right? So you have like the flowers come out first and then the fruit comes out, right? And the fleshy part of that's what the fruit is, right? And so there's also different categories of fruit, whether you're a culinary person or whether you're like a botany or like an agriculture person. It's how different groups define fruit. But for me, fruit is like the fruit-bearing parts of trees, roots, and like shrubs, basically. Like the fruit-bearing parts. So it has the flower first, and then the fruit comes after that, right? So even a lot of my friends, they don't even eat nuts. Like things like coconuts, they don't even eat coconuts because it's like technically.
Well, I'm saying like walnuts, so good for you, man.
No. Like all of this.
Vitamin E and the sunflower seeds.
No. Like, all of that is good. People, as long as you're eating plant-based, to me, you're good, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying my preference point. Yeah. I don't really expect like anyone to do this. You really don't. No one has to do it. No, I'm not. Look. I would like to say, I'm not trying to convert anybody. I'm just saying.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, how I feel eating a chirimoya versus pasta is different.
Explain the chirimoya because probably people don't know what that is.
All right, I'll make it more simple. Well, I feel eating a mango versus pasta. I always feel better eating mangoes.
Yeah.
It's a simple equation for me. Like I should look more into science, but I haven't, honestly, because to me, I just know I feel better on fruit than pasta. Right. So
I mean, those are kind of extreme.
That's not extreme. Like,
well, I'm talking about nuts and seeds and legumes. That's not pasta. Yeah.
I feel better eating mango. Gary, give me any food like group. Any food
group.
Sweet
potato.
I feel better eating mango than sweet potato. What else?
Nuts and seeds.
I feel better eating mangoes than nuts and seeds. What else?
I mean, so you grains and.
I feel better eating mangoes than grains.
I get you mushrooms and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm just like what? All right, not even what I feel. What makes me happy? Is mangoes. Right? I'm not trying to get too scientific. I'll keep it. Yeah. I try to explain it to a level where a baby could understand. Like we could take the babies out there. I could explain it to her. She'll get it. Like I like eating mangoes. It makes me happy. I eat a bowl of cashews. Cashews are good, but the way my stomach feels after cashews, the way my stomach feels after almonds, the way my stomach feels after pistachios is way different than how it feels with mangoes. And I've tried it, right? So mangoes just always make me feel better than like all of that like other stuff.
Yeah, some people start eating meat because it makes their stomach feel better.
Ah, I like that. I like where you're going. Okay, that's on them. But
that's because they have dysbiosis and they haven't acclimated to eating healthier things.
right. So that's but you know, it reminds me of the Bhagavad Gita as well. I think different people have different vibrations, and that's fair, right? Because some people they need that like kind of adrenaline, bloody, fleshy type energy. They need that type of energy, right? Probably they will say their ancestors or their blood type, whatever the heck. They'll find any other reason, right? I still don't think that's good enough because you're still killing the being for it. So I still don't think that's fair to me, right? But that's their karmic debt. That's on them. That's on their family tree. They will deal with that. Their children will deal with that, right? I just want to make sure for my family tree, I don't pass that on to my like children. I want them to kind of stop it here, right? Yeah.
Now, as far as like not like being the friendliest, easiest vegan to be around.
Oh yeah, the activism stuff. Yeah.
I'm just curious, like, do you feel like you might do more late at some point?
Yeah, I was speaking like Shannon, Jamie, Serena, Derek. They really inspired me a lot. And I was telling them I want to kind of visit a slaughterhouse and a sanctuary just to see it up face in front because this is going on 10 years vegan. I've never been to any of that stuff, but it's important to like see it, at least to like bear witness they were saying. So I definitely do feel like I have to go to those things just like I see it like in my face in a sense because I watched the like documentaries, but to see it is something different and to smell it is something different. They were saying once you smell it, you never get to smell your nose, and I feel like sometimes you have to feel that anger to channel it to make change. Like a lot of people don't change until like they feel a really intense emotion. So I think 10 years going vegan, I should have done it like years ago, but my friends in Philly and my friends in Florida, like they weren't really on the activist tip. Like they're probably honestly the first people I even met in veganism who were that on like the activist tip, you know? And like none of my other vegan friends, they're not on the activist tip. They're just doing it for health, spirituality, the animals, cool. Like they're not activists. Yeah. Like they eat plant-based, they eat vegan, but they're not out here with like signs and giving the pigs water and like talking to the people in the slaughterhouse. They're not that intense with it. But like that's why I do respect Shannon and Jamie and Serena and all of them a lot for that. Definitely.
Now, or there could be other forms where you know maybe okay. Let me ask you this: if somebody sits down, like going out to eat with somebody or whatever, and they sit down and they're like, you just happen to be a place where they don't have, it's not entirely vegan or whatever, and so they're like, hey, is it okay if I eat chicken? What are you gonna say?
You know what this reminds me of? I had an ex, right? I used to work at this raw vegan restaurant called All the Way Live in Philadelphia. It's a beautiful restaurant. If you're in Philly, check out All the Way Live. But then I bought her a raw vegan chickpea burger, right? Raw vegan chickpea burger. And I think, actually, this was after we like broke up. So I bought her a chickpea burger, and she's like Haitian, right? And like in Haitian culture, meat is like heavy. Meat is like heavy in Haitian culture, right? So I gave her my chickpea burger, and they said, well, also my mom got me some food, and then she bring out like this plate of like meat, and like we're just like in the car, and like I try not to. It's weird because at first I feel like when I first went vegan, it affected me more, just being around that stuff. But now I feel so like, to me it's not even like food. I don't even categorize it. To me it's like someone eating like dirt. It's pretty weird. Like I'm like, why would you eat dirt? It's not the healthiest thing, right? But well, whatever, right? So I try not to judge, but I also try to just like hold space and dialogue with people, right? Because like she understands my views, I understand her views, right? So I try to understand as humans in general. You can't lead a horse to like water, right? I can't force a human being. I can't like stuff a mango down their like, oh, you're never gonna eat me around me. You're gonna stuff a mango down their throat because like at the end of the day, they're their own sovereign adult being, right? I can't stop them, but I will always recommend them like, hey, this mango might make you feel better than that cheesesteak, right? I always recommend that, but I don't like shove it down their throat because it's like regardless
but they just ask you, what do you think? Is it okay if I order chicken?
I would prefer you don't, but if you do, yes. If long term you're eating it a lot, I might leave. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I keep it simple. Like you can do what you want, but if you want to be like, especially so coworkers, sure, friends, sure. But if you're in my inner circle, if like you're family, like intimate, like family, and you're keeping like cheesesteaks every day, we probably should not be because I've tried it and I like. Luckily, I was with a lot of people who were like vegan, a lot of partners who were vegan, right? And then I remember one time I broke up with one of my vegan girlfriends. We like broke up. And I was like, maybe I'm too strict. I should stop this whole vegan thing, just like broaden my options. So I was dating these two meat like eating girls, and they were very depressed. But I'm not sure if they were depressed because they meet, or I'm not sure they meet because they were depressed. I just know it wouldn't work, because I always was a like high vibrational, optimistic, energetic person, and they just didn't have the same energy. So in the Bible, I'm not a Christian, but they say you have to be evenly yoked, right? And like so in like cattle and stuff like that, they say like you have to be kind of the same species or breed, right? You don't like mix a ox with a donkey, or you don't mix like some. You have to be like on a similar life path and journey. Of course, I can hold space for everybody, regardless of lifestyle, background, demographic, color, creed, class, whatever. I can hold space for everybody. But the line where I cut it off is like intimacy and family. If you're less like a coworker, associate, sure, whatever. But if you're like my partner, like life partner, family, loved ones, I can't. Like that stuff is really like critical for me, because it makes my chest hurt. Going back to Gary V, because if I know this is hurting animals and I stop because it makes my chest hurt, and you're my loved one and you're doing that, my chest is still going to hurt the same way. So if my chest is going to hurt every time I'm around you, and I feel like disgusted and like I feel like I'm just like destroying stuff, it's better I just go my own path, honestly, or we just go our own path.
So you couldn't be with a non-vegan, essentially.
I have in the past, but at this point in my life, I don't think I have to. Because my like girl now, she's been vegan for like what, 18 years. She's like done raw chef stuff. She's like yogi. She's super keen on the raw. She's way better at the raw chef stuff. Because I'm not really like a chef type person, right? I just cut my mangoes and I eat it, right? I'm simple. But she's like affluent on the raw, dehydrated, fancy this, fancy that. So she's certified in that. So why would I ever have to go back to somebody eating meat, right? Like it just wouldn't, probably not.
Well, maybe I just wonder, it'd be interesting to see how you evolve in this way. You know, maybe when you get exposed to it, you'll have more of a visceral reaction that you can't resist expressing. Maybe, you know, like in an assertive way. It doesn't have to be aggressive. It could be passive. It doesn't have to be passive or aggressive. It could be assertive. Yeah, you know, that's what I try to do personally.
No, I'm thinking about in Ecuador and even in the States. Because, and here, example, like I have to sometimes go to restaurants to kind of use their Wi-Fi. I'll be at Wendy's, people be eating their cheeseburgers, and a lot of people working on my laptop. Even in Ecuador, it's the same thing. They used to eat guinea pig in Ecuador at the restaurants. They used to eat like guinea pig, right? So it's like we live in a culture and like 98% of the planet eats meat. So it's kind of like, what am I just not going to go outside anymore? Like,
well, I mean, I don't think it's that high.
95% at least.
No, I mean, there's
vegans make up 5% of the planet.
1.5 billion vegetarians.
Well, vegans or vegetarians?
Vegetarians.
Oh, well, yeah.
Eating meat.
Yeah, no, true. Yeah, oh, true. You're right. So vegetarian is more vast than like vegans. Okay, that's true. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
solid.
So there's not that many people eating meat.
Okay, no, solid.
I love to clump them in, even though we know how horrible dairy is.
I'm glad you brought it in, because in my head I only thought about vegans or like raw fruit, and that's like as the higher up you get, the more like slow percentage. But the vegetarians, because even in India, I think like half of them are probably like vegetarian or something like that. So that's like a good chunk over there just alone, you know? Okay, so that's true. That's nice.
And they're kind of low-hanging fruit, you know. Hopefully we can reach them, and that's kind of like what Celeste thinks. He thinks if you get rid of dairy, it's going to make all the other industries collapse. And eggs, dairy and eggs. Right. You can't have cheap chicken with cheap. You remember him saying that?
They all go hand in hand. They all go hand in hand. So it's like toppling one like topples all of them. It's
That's fascinating how you articulated that.
Yeah.
So anyway, cool stuff. So how can we follow you online, even though you're not really an activist? Maybe somebody wants to follow you anyways. You got a YouTube channel.
Yeah, so it depends on what energies the people want. So if they want the fruitarian, vegan energy, go to my my old YouTube channel. It's gonna be long. Could you put in like the description? Okay, so my old YouTube channel is like Bookman, Banana, Buddha, Basha, right, at YouTube. And the same thing on my Instagram, Bookman, Banana, Buddha, Basha. On Facebook, it's Bookman, Basha. So if you want more so like the holistic, vlogging, homesteading, permaculture, fruitarian, kind of natural-esque stuff, follow me there, right? But if you want the tech side, go to my LinkedIn, go to my YouTube at BitBuddha at YouTube, or my GitHub at BitBuddha, and also on my LinkedIn. And the URL is BitBuddha, but on LinkedIn they have my legal name, so it's Keegan Basha as well. And also my website. The first thing I should give you my website is to be bit-buddha.net. .io/index.html or something like that. Anyway, I'll give him like the links that he could post.
So you got all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah, so I have different energies. So I have like holistic stuff that like I'm doing here. Then I have more so like my tech, corporate, cybersecurity, blockchain, and Databricks engineering stuff as well. So I have like different energies for different species. But I'm definitely I love tech and I love fruit and farming. But I'm focused on making like as much capital and money and connections and clearances and degrees in tech as possible, and taking all of that money to pivot into more fruit and farming. Because I worked on farms in Homestead, I worked on farms in Ecuador. I saw how much physical energy it took, but I also saw how much financial energy it took as well. So I'm trying to be very rational and clear about this stuff. But I'm just like working towards that in the industry I actually love. Because the Linux stuff, it's like I actually do like love this stuff. I could like honestly, I know it's not the healthiest thing. If you give me a laptop, some books, some fruit, internet, some grass, I could literally stay in, like even when I was in Florida, like in like the majority of this year, I was literally on my room sprouts Audi. Like I could literally be on in learning that cyber tech stuff for like days. And be fine, right? Because I make a meditate, journal, exercise, and studying the rest of the day. Easy, right? So I actually do love that stuff. But also I'm knowing the farming and the fruit stuff is things I want to share with the world and my family. The tech stuff is stuff I love, right? And I feel like I could just like enjoy myself. But when I have a child, of course, when they get older, I teach them both how to like program and farm. But I'd rather have my child on like the land, teach them how to like compost and do permaculture and like the different types of fruit trees and shrubs. So I definitely want to create that type of environment for my family, right? More so holistic farming, permaculture-esque energy.
Yeah, I'm hoping to transition and get some land too and grow food.
Yeah,
and
man.
Teach people how to eat and live this way. And all
That's
that.
the way. That's the way, right?
Well, man, I hope to check out Ecuador and maybe we'll be neighbors one day.
Yo, that'd be lit, honestly.
Well, thanks for your time, man. I guess I'm gonna let you get and try to get another guy in here in front of my camera and see if make the most of the time before I
appreciate it.
head back.
Also, I want to say that infinite gratitude towards Whoop Whoop, Serena, and Serena's parents for not only opening up their space, opening up their heart, opening up their like family history, culture. It's been not only in terms of like just like individual health, just seeing like a family and like friends just do such like holding a vegan festival for like a week in like Kansas. Like I never even been to Kansas. I didn't even know what Kansas is about, but just it was like beautiful. It was a beautiful experience, and I would definitely recommend to like stay if you could like tag their stuff as well, because the stuff that they're doing is super beautiful. Like this is like literally the stuff I live for. Like this is the best part of my year. Like literally, like this is like it, you know. So I definitely want to give much love and gratitude to all of them as well. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah. I'm curious if you got the energy and whatever to. I noticed it was hard to do this when we did the open mic, and you were asking people for words. I was like, it's actually it's hard to do the word. It's hard to come up with just random words.
Yeah. I got you, brother. I got you. You want me to freestyle? I got you.
All right. So. Yeah, I mean, how do you? Not too long though, because you were flowing like forever.
Yeah, I could go on for hours. I love hip hop. I love hip hop. Outside of fruit and tech, hip hop is like I love hip hop. So much.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe start off with Gary.
My name is like Gary. You know I got the razor blade, so I'm not hairy. That's easy, right?
Green beans.
I got the green bean, so that means I'm making green. I never was mean, cause you know I'm on the scene. You know I got the camera flashing. Matter of fact, you know that I'm never crashing. You know I got the blessings that I stay snatching. Matter of fact, you know I got the cameras right here. Matter of fact, you know I never disappear. I got the new fruit and I'm eating my pear. You know I never curse, no I never could swear. You know that I got, but give me like, I can go forever,
Okay, oh my God, see, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to come up with words because I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm in your world, and it's like I got to come up with something else.
No, you're good.
Okay. Love.
You know I got so much love. That means I'm flying like a plane. That means I'm above. You know I'm in a group, so I never could shove. Matter of fact, you know I'm in a whole new spot.
Flow.
Matter of fact, I got a whole new flow. I never was low. I'm getting my dough. I reap what I sow. I'm banging on the dough.
Age.
I'm talking to a new age. Never did I even rage. I'm standing on the top on the stage. I'm turning the book and the page. Matter of fact, you know I am the mage. So you know I got the magic word.
Finale.
I always keep my word, so I never had a finale. So you know that I'm just beginning. Matter of fact, you know that I always stay grinning. And I stay real, no, I'm never sinning. So I've been here since the beginning. Like it is Genesis, I got the vegan link, like the Cuban link. No, I never sink, cause I'm at the brink of something big. Never did I smoke the cig, never did I eat the pig. But you know, I'm taking off the wig in the fake court. Matter of fact, you know, I'm in a new chicken. I got a new, never did I eat the chicken.
No, not chicken.
You know I'm quitting cold turkey.
Check it.
Oh, check it. So you know I gotta check it like I'm checking in and out of a hotel. Matter of fact, you know I stay real and never chase tell. No, I'd rather meditate. No, I'd rather elevate. No, I never could wait. So I'm hopping over the gate like the white picket fence, never on the offense or the defense. But you know I'm breaking down the dough. Matter of fact, you know I got the whole new book. I call it the Bhagavad Gita. Matter of fact, you know I got the Himsa. That means that I'm non-violent. But you know I'm like Gandhi. Matter of fact, you know I'm swimming at the Ganges River. Matter of fact, you know I got to deliver. Matter of fact, you know I never did sever. But you know I'm breaking down the lever because I'm so smart and I'm clever. No, I never eat dairy because you know that it is actually really scary. Matter of fact, you know I got to be that, I got to marry. And I got the weight over my shoulders, but you know I got to carrying the world on my shoulders. But you know it's not funny, but I don't like Jim Carrey. Because you know I'm vegan, that's where it began. Matter of fact, in 2015, man, you know that I was a protein, kind of like a amino acid. Matter of fact, you know I did acid, but that was in the past. Now I am sober. Matter of fact, I'm coming from the top of the dome, the top of the crown. I'm making my rounds. I'm making my pound like I'm in the UK. I say okay. I lay here all day. I got a new view like I'm at the top, and I got money, so I never did stop.
Subscribe.
You better subscribe to this new channel. You know that it's fresh off of mine. I got a channel. Matter of fact, you know it's like the Panama Channel Canal. Matter of fact, you know I'm changing the new Dow. I'm going 7 hours south. Matter of fact, I'm on a quest. So you know I'm going to the Texas Fruit Fest that soon in like 3 days and 3D. Matter of fact, you know I got a new idea. So you know that I'd rather be free. I'd rather be flowing. So I'm always on the spot, planting my seed. I don't want to smoke, no, I don't want weed. You know I'm so real because I am a new breed. You know I got the message that the kids got to heed. I put it in the book so you know they got to read. You know I need air. You know I need end. No, when do I end? He told me to end, but I just keep going. Man, you know, not read what I'm sewing. But no, yeah, I can keep going. But
That's fun, man.
I love this stuff. Yeah.
How long you been doing that?
That's a very good question, actually. Probably like past like 2-3 years. Yeah, because I've been listening to hip hop for like ever since I was young. But it's only I don't even know what made me start. Actually, it just started like as I got in. Oh, that's a very good question. I actually got to like journal about that or reflect on that. It's just like something I just started. Like if I'm ever feeling like really down and like there's nothing else that could change my mood, I just like put on a beat. I just like freestyle and there's like anything that comes to mind, I just like express. You know, it's just like off the top expression. You just like releases like a lot of energy. But I did have to shout out to my girl. She knows, she like did music in school. So she knows how to read like sheet music and all of that stuff and how to like coordinate the different parts of a song. I don't know like music from like a scholarly academic level. Like I'm not like an academic rapper, right? But I just do know I could just say what's on my mind and say what's on my heart, right? But I do have to like learn a bit from my girl, just learn how to like structure it in like a song like properly and like structure it in like a album because I don't have any music out yet. But I know I could make like 50. I have album ideas in my head already. I just have to put the time in for it because right now, you know, the tech thing is like more so I'm just studying all of that now. But in the future, albums are definitely a thing because I feel like it would be a great way to educate my children as well because I want to homeschool my children in the future. And music, kind of similar to what Royce was doing with the periodic table, music is a perfect way to kind of help people memorize stuff. So it'd be cool to, if I make an album, it's not going to be just for sales. It's not going to be just for acclaim. It's going to be music so I could give to my grandson so he could like listen to it and raise his consciousness and be healthier and wealthier. I want it to be like a cosmic upgrade. Like you listen to this album, your consciousness is going to raise and you're going to be a better person after it. I also want to give a shout out to KRS-One. KRS-One is one of my favorite MCs and artists because there's artists you listen to and you vibe to in the club, you know, you're dancing. Then there's artists you listen to, they change your life. They change the way you view the world. They change the way you view yourself. So Kendrick Lamar, shout out to Kendrick Lamar as well because he used to be bullied for being dark skinned, right? But when Kendrick Lamar dropped How to Pimp a Butterfly, my cultural like confidence like shifted, right? Because I was like, oh, like when people would say I'm like dark, I'm like, bro, I'm the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Like I don't know what y'all talking about. Like I don't like sexy black dark chocolate. So when the album dropped, like my confidence went up a lot, and I feel like music could definitely help and heal people in a lot of ways. Now a lot of our music, sadly, is used to kind of oppress our people, but the same way hip hop in its original state, in its organic state, was meant to uplift and raise the consciousness of our people, and I feel like it could still do the same thing. It just takes people to be in that frequency and be able to share that frequency. Also, shout out to my brother Free Soul, because he's in Philly, and he's like him and Lava. They're getting deeper into the conscious like rap and like music space as well. So yeah, just shout out to all of the conscious artists and creatives. We definitely need more of that in the space in general.
Man, you got lots of shouts.
No, I got it, man. I got the platform. I got it for everyone on. Like honestly, because those people they've influenced me a lot. So they've definitely influenced me a lot.
Well, I appreciate your time again, man.
I appreciate yours,
fun,
brother.
Man.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. Safe travels.